This is the Gridiron Guesser, the premier guesser in all of sports.
Hey everyone, welcome into the Gridiron Guesser and Week 8 of college football. We are coming off an undefeated Week 7 where we went 4-0-1 against the spread. That's right, undefeated. I didn't say perfect. We had that one draw, but 4 wins and no losses in Week 7. So here we are back in Week 8, and we've got 3 money picks here for you. If you haven't, go ahead, subscribe to our channel, like our videos, and turn on those notifications. We're going to give you 3 guaranteed winners here in Week 8. So let's get started with our games. Here we go. Game 1 is the biggest game of the weekend as we finally get a matchup between 2 of the heavyweights in the Big Ten East. Undefeated Penn State heads over to Columbus to take on undefeated Ohio State. The Buckeyes are a 4.5-point favorite with a total set at 45.5. Obviously, this game is massive in terms of the Big Ten race and the playoffs. The winner of this one takes a big step in that direction, while the loser is going to need some help down the stretch if they want to have any chance of winning the championship. Our money numbers here lean heavy in favor of the Nittany Lions. The Lions are 6-0 against the spread this season, and they're 12-1 against the spread over their last 13. The Buckeyes have hit the over 3 of their last 4 games and have an impressive win total when their opponents rush for more than 30 times a game. So what's going to happen? This is going to be a classic Big Ten football game between 2 chiseled, tough, and gritty teams that go toe-to-toe for 3 hours. The Buckeyes are the more battle-tested team, having already defeated Notre Dame on the road. Kyle McCord has improved each week and has become a leader on this team, and the defense continues to do their part to get wins as well. Penn State has dominated everyone they have played to this point, including hammering Iowa. Statistically, Penn State fields one of the very best defenses in the country, but they haven't exactly played against the most potent offenses. Expect Ohio State to be able to move the ball, especially through the air. Penn State will be able to hold the Buckeyes' run game in check for the most part. And then on offense, the Nittany Lions will once again be a balanced, methodical unit that will be able to keep those chains moving and the clock running. This game will be down to the wire, with either team being right there to have a chance to secure the win at the end. The Gridiron Guesser is going to take Penn State to pull the upset and grab the outright win over the Buckeyes in a classic. The Gridiron Guesser says, give us the Nittany Lions 24-23. Our second pick of the day takes us down to Tuscaloosa on the 3rd Saturday of October for the annual game between the Tennessee Volunteers and the Alabama Crimson Tide. The Tide are an 8-point favorite with the total set at 48. The Vols come in off their win over Texas A&M last week, while Alabama continues to find ways to win as they took down Arkansas in a game that was much tighter than what they probably wanted it to be. The money numbers here aren't crystal clear in terms of spreads. Tennessee is 4-2 against the spread, while Alabama is 4-3. And Tennessee has hit the team under in 4 of their last 5 road games. Tennessee, though, is 14-0 when rushing for over 180 yards over the last couple of seasons. That's impressive. So what's going to happen? Everyone remembers last year's epic matchup that featured tons of yards, points, and excitement with Tennessee finally getting over the hump and defeating the Tide on that last-second field goal. Yeah, this one is not going to be anything like that. This game will feel sloppy. The offenses will struggle to move the ball consistently, and the defenses should be able to get a couple of turnovers. The Vols need their run game to be clicking to have any chance. And for Alabama, they need Jalen Milroe to be able to hit a few more of those big plays in the passing game. Milroe has not been great this season at quarterback for the Tide, but he seems to be able to make just enough plays, especially under pressure when he needs to for the Tide. Tennessee will be able to put some pressure on Milroe, but Milroe will find ways to burn the Vols down the field. The Alabama defense is going to slow down that Tennessee running game to well under 180 yards. And Joe Milton, he's just not good enough on his own to win a road game in Alabama. The Gridiron Guesser likes Alabama to find another win over the Vols. But the Tide are not great at covering. So we are going to take the Vols to cover the 8-point spread, but give us the Crimson Tide to win 27-20 and light up those cigars. In Game 3, we head out west for a Pac-12 showdown with Utah at USC. USC is a 6-point favorite with the point total set at 53. So USC last week was awful. Caleb Williams threw 3 interceptions, and the whole country got to see what we've been saying since week 1. USC still has no defense. It's awful. Notre Dame dog-walked USC last week, and the Gridiron Guesser is quite confident that won't be USC's only loss of the season. So here in comes Utah, still hanging around at 5-1 and coming off one of their better offensive performances last week, beating Cal 34-14. Their defense is legit, and they hold down Caleb Williams and the USC offense for a second week in a row. Our money numbers here show us that Utah beat USC both times last season, scoring over 40 points per game each time. USC is a bad cover team. They're just 2-5 against the spread this season. And as expected, Utah hits more unders than overs when it comes to point totals. So what's going to happen? How is USC going to respond after last week's beatdown? How will Caleb Williams perform after his first bad game as a college quarterback? The Utah defense is outstanding. They're really, really good. But without Cam Rising, it seems nearly impossible to think that this Utah team can keep up with USC's offense. But then you remember that USC fields a wet paper towel for a defense. And Utah seems to have the Trojans' number in recent history. The Utes seem to play up to the Trojans, and they have a defense that is just good enough to slow down USC to give their offense a chance to hang around in this one. Caleb Williams is going to play better, and USC is definitely going to score more than 20 points. The Utah defense is going to play very well, but not good enough to get the win in this game. The Utes just don't have enough offensive firepower to pull off the road upset here. Utah is a good team and would be even better if they had Cam Rising back. But the Gridiron Guesser is going to take the Trojans in this one, not only to win the game, but also to cover. Give us the Trojans 31-21. So those are our 3 picks this week from the Gridiron Guesser during Week 8 of college football. We do have 2 bonus picks here for you, so let's go. Our bonus pick 1 for Week 8 is Minnesota at Iowa. Iowa's a 3.5-point favorite, and the total in this one, you heard this right, 30.5 points. Well, the Gridiron Guesser is taking Iowa to cover in this one, 10-6. And in our second bonus pick for Week 8, we've got the Duke Blue Devils traveling down to Tallahassee to take on the Florida State Seminoles. In this one, the Seminoles are a 14.5-point favorite with the over-under set at 49.5 points. The Gridiron Guesser for bonus pick number 2 is taking the Seminoles to win and cover in this one, 34-17. So there you have it, our 3 picks plus our 2 bonus picks for Week 8 of the college football season. Go out, make some money, have fun this weekend. If you haven't yet, go ahead and subscribe to our channel, like our videos, and turn on those notifications, and become a winner here at the Gridiron Guesser. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the games this weekend, everyone, and we'll see you next week on the Gridiron Guesser.